I was 7,000 miles away chasing a promotion that would finally give us the life we dreamed of. Long hours, cold hotel rooms, and missed calls became my routine, but I told myself it was worth it for us. Every video call, she smiled and said, "I'm proud of you," and I believed her. I trusted her. I had no reason not to. After all, we'd been together for 5 years. She'd stood by me through worse. But coming home early, unannounced, was never part of the plan. I wanted to surprise her. Instead, I was the one left stunned. The moment I stepped through that door, something felt ... off her phone face down on the counter, the faint smell of cologne that wasn't mine, and a half-buttoned shirt definitely not mine on the couch. My stomach dropped before I even saw the text messages that confirmed everything. She didn't know I knew, not yet. I played it cool for a few days, watching her act like everything was normal. I needed time to process, to plan, to figure out how to walk away without letting the pain break me. But I couldn't sit in that house any longer, not knowing what happened in the bed we shared. So I packed up what mattered, changed the locks, and left her a note. Simple, final. Now she's standing outside, furious, shocked, trying to call me non-stop. She didn't expect consequences. She never thought I'd have the strength to leave, let alone take control. But I'm done being the quiet, dependable guy who gets walked over. She cheated while I was overseas, and now she's locked out of my life. And if you think that's where the story ends, trust me, it's only getting started. Asterisk, we weren't perfect, but I thought we were solid. We talked about marriage, even looked at apartments closer to the city. I still remember her texting me pictures of furniture sets while I was boarding flights. This one or the blue one, she'd ask, like we were building a future. I answered every time. I was tired, overworked, homesick, but I answered. I didn't want her to feel alone while I was gone. But now I can't stop wondering how long was I gone before she gave up on us. A week, a month. Was it someone she knew, or some stranger she met when she said she was just out with friends? That part still haunts me, because while I was sitting in late-night meetings and skipping dinners just to wire more money home, she was probably lying to my face with that same sweet voice. The hardest part is I never saw it coming. No red flags. No weird behavior, even. When I FaceTimed her unexpectedly, she picked up smiling, like everything was fine. Maybe that's what hurts the most, how easily she kept the mask on, how naturally she pretended. And now she's outside, pacing, leaving angry voicemails, like I'm the one who betrayed her. "You had no right to change the locks," she yelled in one message. No right, after what she did. I haven't replied, not yet. Part of me wants to hear what lies she spun. Part of me wants closure, but a bigger part just wants to disappear from her world completely. There's still so much she doesn't know, like what I found under the bed, or the one person who told me the truth before she ever did. And trust me, that changed everything. Asterisk, it was 2 days before I came home when my best friend Marcus called. He doesn't usually get involved in my relationship stuff, always says it's none of his business, but this time his voice was low and careful. He asked if I had noticed anything weird in our calls lately. I said no. He hesitated, then finally said, "You might want to come back early." Man, that was it. No details, no drama. Just a tone that said more than his words. I thought maybe something happened to her. Maybe she was sick or overwhelmed. I never imagined he was trying to warn me, but he knew he'd seen something. Later I'd find out she wasn't even trying that hard to hide. It just assumed no one would tell me. I guess she forgot not everyone around her was blind to what loyalty means. When I got home and started looking around, I noticed things that didn't belong. A second toothbrush in the bathroom drawer. An unfamiliar jacket stuffed in the laundry hamper. Her story was that a friend crashed here one night after drinking hummus, but when I checked the closet later, I found a receipt from a local restaurant dinner for two. The same night she said she was at her sister's. That's when it all started unraveling. The worst part, she didn't even seem scared of getting caught. That confidence, like she thought I'd just forgive her if I found out. Maybe even blame myself for being gone so long. I started piecing things together. Marcus gave me a name, and that name connected dots I hadn't even realized were there. Someone from her past. Someone I thought was long gone, but he wasn't. He'd been around, close to close. And the deeper I looked, the worse it got. Asterisk, his name was Ryan. I remembered him from back when we first started dating. He was just a friend she swore was like a brother. The same guy who'd comment heart emojis under her photos until I asked about it. She brushed it off, said I was being insecure. So I let it go. I trusted her. That trust feels stupid now. The more I dug, the clearer it became. Ryan had never left the picture. He was the guy she ran to when I boarded planes. The guy who saw my absence as an opening. And she let him in. Not just into our home, but into parts of her I thought were mine. She'd told me she felt lonely sometimes, that she missed me, but never once said it was this bad. Never said she needed something more. She just smiled through the screen and waited for me to hang up before answering his texts. I found a picture hidden in her archived messages. The two of them at our place, on my couch, her wearing one of my shirts. That image hasn't left my mind since. It felt like getting punched without being touched. I almost confronted her right then, but something held me back. I needed her to show me who she really was, so I waited, and that's when I saw the messages she sent him. Not just flirty texts or emotional rants, but real plans. Talks about what they'd do if I wasn't around. Jokes about how clueless I was. That's when it shifted. This wasn't a mistake. This was a choice. Repeated intentional betrayal. So I changed the locks. I blocked her number, but I kept the messages, the photos, the receipts. Not for revenge, but because I knew this wasn't over. She thought the worst had already happened. Was wrong. Asterisk, just when I thought I had the full picture, something else came up, something I hadn't even considered. A week after I changed the locks, I got a letter, not a text, not an email. An actual envelope slipped under my door, no return address. Inside was a printed photo and a short note that simply read, "You deserve to know everything." The photo was of Ryan, but not with her. He was with someone else, a woman I didn't recognize, but who looked just as betrayed as I felt. I flipped the picture over. There was a name and a phone number. My hands were shaking. I had no idea who it sent it or why, but it felt like a warning. I called the number. The woman answered on the second ring. Her voice was tight, like she was holding back tears or rage. I introduced myself, unsure what I was walking into, but she knew who I was. In fact, she'd been trying to figure out how to reach me for weeks. Turns out, Ryan wasn't just cheating with my girlfriend. He was cheating on someone else with her. The betrayal ran deeper than I imagined. Ryan had been living a double life, and I wasn't the only one left cleaning up the mess. The woman on the phone, her name was Camille, and she had screenshots texts between Ryan and my girlfriend that made the ones I found look mild. They weren't just hooking up, they were planning to move in together. My apartment, the one I paid for, was supposed to be their new start. That's when I realized this wasn't just a breakup. This was a full-blown setup. I had to make a choice. Stay silent, disappear quietly, or expose everything. But the real storm hadn't even started yet. I met Camille the next day at a small coffee shop just outside the city. She brought a folder filled with printed messages, phone logs, even a couple of photos of Ryan and my ex together, ones I hadn't seen before. It was surreal, sitting across from a stranger, piecing together a story we were both dragged into without choice. We didn't say much at first. We didn't need to. Just sharing space with someone who got it was enough to feel the weight start to lift. She asked me what I planned to do. I told her I hadn't decided yet. But something about the way Ryan used both of us, how he made her believe he was building a future while sneaking into mine, made me realize silence wasn't justice. I didn't want revenge. I wanted truth. So I forwarded every screenshot, every receipt, every detail to my ex. No message, no explanation. Just the proof. An hour later, she showed up to my building screaming, crying, denying everything. She begged me to talk. I didn't open the door. I watched through the peephole as her voice cracked, her hands shaking, but I didn't feel pity. Not anymore. She made her choices. And then came the twist I never saw coming. Ryan messaged me. He had the nerve to say it wasn't personal, that he didn't think it would go this far. He asked me to keep things quiet because his job was on the line. That's when it clicked. He wasn't just lying to us, he was hiding more. I sent his messages straight to Camille. Turns out, Ryan wasn't just cheating. He was stealing money too, from her, from others. And now she was pressing charges. So in the end, the locks weren't just for my door. They were for my peace. And while they both lost everything they tried to build behind my back, I walked away with something they never expected. Freedom. Asterisk, after everything unraveled, life got really quiet. At first, the silence felt strange. No texts to answer, no late-night calls from overseas, no drama pounding at my door. But slowly, that quiet turned into peace. I moved out of the apartment a few weeks later, not because I had to, but because I wanted to start fresh. A new place, new keys, and for the first time in a long time, no baggage waiting at home. Camille kept in touch. She was stronger than she gave herself credit for, and in a way, we helped each other heal. We weren't looking to replace what we lost, just to understand that none of this was our fault. Ryan ended up facing more than just heartbreak. There were legal consequences he couldn't talk his way out of. And as for my ex, she disappeared from my life completely after that day at my door. No more voicemails. No more second chances. I learned that trust isn't just something you give, it's something you build together, day by day. And if one person isn't doing the work, it all starts to crumble, no matter how strong it looks from the outside. I spent so long trying to hold everything together that I forgot I had the right to walk away when it stopped being healthy. This story wasn't just about cheating. It was about betrayal, yes, but also growth, boundaries, and learning when enough is enough. If you're overseas working hard, sacrificing for someone back home, you deserve loyalty. And if you ever find yourself being lied to, used, or underestimated, don't stay silent. Don't wait for closure that may never come. Take back your power, because sometimes the best revenge isn't getting even, it's moving on without looking back.